Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jackie Speier. I'm your Congresswoman, and I'm here to help. So I've been doing these boot camps now for 3 years. This is our 9th boot camp. And after having done 9 of them, we have some things that we've learned along the way, and we have some great success stories. So today is a day that I want you to just buckle down and absorb absolutely everything you can from today. And I mean by visiting all the resource tables, by going to all of the workshops, by taking advantage of the tent tools, the tool tents, and making sure that you network with people who are sitting right next to you. Many of you or most of you are unemployed, but sometimes just networking with people who are also unemployed can be very helpful. So we are, in a matter of speaking, matchmakers, sort of like Match.com, except we're doing it for you in terms of jobs. And I'm happy to announce today that we have more employers here than we ever have before. 43 of them. So that should give you not just hope, but inspiration to make sure you contact them, every single one of them. Whether you think you want to work for Virgin Airlines or for Gilead, I don't care if you think, oh no, that's not for me. I want you to talk to each and every one of them because there are job opportunities for you. Now, we have 18 resource organizations here as well. The employer area is behind me, and the resource groups are at tables that surround the main area. The tools tent is to my right. The workshops are on both my right and left side, so you'll have to look around for them. And if you need assistance, there are plenty of members of my staff, the county staff, and volunteers and interns to assist you. So I want all of those people who are here to assist you to raise your hands and wave so people can see you. Lots of people around this room who are here to help you out. Every job seeker who comes to a boot camp has the potential to get a job. So this is not just an exercise you're going through, and it's a great opportunity for you to improve the skills you already have. I encourage each and every one of you to visit all the employers, visit resource organizations of interest to you, and sit in on the workshops that meet your job search needs. Above all, get some feedback. The tools tent has human resource specialists who are going to take 10 minutes and devote them to you, each of you, one-on-one, to go through the interview process. Do you have good eye contact? They'll give you feedback on your body language and how you present yourself to a prospective employer. At the tools tent as well, you'll be able to take your resume in, and they will help you polish it up, make it more appealing to the various businesses that are here and looking for employees. Lastly, I encourage you to stay around until 1 o'clock and attend the employer panels. We have 3 of them. The biotech and healthcare one is in room 1A to my left. To the front, you can hear from the tech sector HR gurus in room 1B. And then to my immediate right, you will hear from folks who hire every day in the hospitality and retail industries. Now, you may get exhausted by the end of the day, but I guarantee you, you will not leave here empty-handed. You'll either be on the way to getting your next job, or you'll have new tools to help you get the job that you want. Now, lots of thank yous are in order. Let me first say to San Mateo County's Workforce Development Board that's partnered with us, thank you. To Director Brian Rogers. Brian, where are you? He's en route, okay. To Maria Martinez-Torres, Dan Bergman, and all the Workforce Development and Peninsula Work staff. Would you raise your hand so we can say thank you to you? Also, we want to thank David Diaz from Job Train. David, are you here? There he is. Thank you, David. In just a few minutes, you're going to hear from Sumaya Kazi, who has a special message for young job seekers, but it's a message that also applies to us older job seekers as well. But first, let me say this. San Mateo County has the second lowest unemployment rate in California at 7.8%. So that doesn't necessarily make you feel good because you're out of work right now. But it should give you a lift because it makes the case that here in San Mateo County, we are flourishing with businesses that are looking for bright, young, and older talent. So look at this as a great opportunity to reconnect. When I first started these boot camps 3 years ago, the unemployment rate in San Mateo County was 9%. So it's dropped to 6.8%. The national average is 7.8%. We are seeing signs of a recovery, and there's reason to be optimistic and hopeful. Now, yes. That said, certain segments of the population and the workforce are hurting. Overall, the unemployment rate for those who have graduated from college is 4%. But recent graduates face an unemployment rate of 59%. How many of you are young people just graduating from college looking for jobs? I want you all to stand up. Come on, stand up. All right, we're going to help you find jobs today, all right? I also want to thank Stanford, San Francisco State, UC Berkeley, and UC Davis for helping us recruit participants in today's boot camp. Many of you are here in the audience. And veterans. Veterans have an unemployment rate that is 5% higher than the overall rate for all job seekers. We have workshops today for veterans, and the VA is here to explain how veterans can apply for retraining programs. We also have Swords to Plowshares, the VA, and the Redwood City Veterans Center here to help you benefit from those programs as well. How many of you are veterans here today? Please stand up. Stand up, stay standing for a moment. I want to say to each of you, on behalf of all Americans and everyone else in this room, thank you for your service to our country. Now, as GIs, you've gone through some tough times. And I want you to especially know that my office has two incredibly talented experts on the disability claims process at VA, among other services that the VA offers. So, I want you to say hello to Mark Nagalis, who's over there, and Richard Steffen, who is over here. If you have a particular issue with the VA, with the system, with the claims process, both of them are here today and can provide you additional resources as well. Now, how many of you are mature workers? Those over 55, like me, would you please stand up? I want you to stand up if you can. All right, let's hear it for all of us over 55 who are here today. All right, there is a special workshop being held precisely for your talents, your interests, and the obstacles all of us over 55 have in terms of trying to convince the employers that expertise and experience is a good thing. So please make sure you avail yourself of that workshop as well. As I said earlier, we are matchmakers here, trying to create marriages between job seekers and employers. And I now have the pleasure of introducing you to someone who came to our last Job Hunters Boot Camp in March of this year. And she has a great success story to share with you. And she's in the newspaper today, being identified as one of the success stories that has come through these Job Hunters Boot Camps. Please welcome Lindsay Schulz.
Good morning. My name is Lindsay Schulz, and 6 months ago, I was sitting right where you're sitting. I was feeling extremely frustrated after 9 months of an unsuccessful job search, and I was on the brink of believing that I was never going to find that perfect job. Back in June 2011, I graduated from Cal Poly with a degree in biochemistry. Then after graduating, I moved back home here to the Bay Area and started my job search. I applied to many positions online for the next 9 months without any luck. I even tried networking with some family and friends, as well as joining an unemployment agency. I even arranged a few informational interviews, but still, I had no success in finding a job. It became increasingly more difficult to remain focused and driven just because I felt so defeated. But luckily, one day, a family friend forwarded me some information about the Job Hunters Boot Camp, so I decided to go and give it a try. Now, though I have a degree in biochemistry, my ideal job was a position outside of the lab, where I could use more of my communication skills. So I had targeted a couple of companies in the biotech industry to talk to about some non-lab jobs they had posted online. The funny thing is, I hadn't even planned to talk to lab support at all, partly because I was still a little unsure of how staffing agencies worked, and, well, I mean, the word lab was in the name, so it didn't seem to be exactly what I was aiming for. But there was an opening to speak to someone at the table, so I thought, why not? What do I have to lose? So when I spoke to her, I only mentioned my science background because I assumed that was their main interest. But surprisingly, she asked me if I might be interested in working a position outside of the lab and perhaps working for them as a recruiter tech. And I said, absolutely. That would be the perfect blend of science and interacting with the public. So she took my resume, and the following day, I had a phone screen. The next couple of weeks, I had a Skype interview, a face-to-face interview, and then I was offered the job. I started in April this past year, and I could not be more thrilled. Even since then, I've actually had a promotion to associate recruiter, where I primarily manage our Genentech and Novartis accounts. So now I know that the job market is tough right now. I've been there, especially when you keep wondering to yourself, why can't I get that interview? Why does it seem like I'm not good enough? Why does it always feel like I'm the only one out of a job? Well, when you have a moment today between workshops or as you're going from table to table at the job fair, just take a moment and look around and realize you are not alone. So many people are in the same spot you are and are experiencing the same struggle. So just stay open-minded, don't try to pigeonhole yourself, and you may find an opportunity you never even knew existed. If you have any questions later, please feel free to come by and talk to me at the lab support table. Also, if you have a science, engineering, or clinical background, we offer a wide array of contract to hire, direct hire positions in the life sciences and engineering industry. So I wish you all the same success that I had at this boot camp. It can happen for you too. So meet as many people as you can, just try to keep a positive outlook, and I know you will be successful. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak with you today, and I wish you all the best of luck in your job search.
Now, isn't that a great story? It's a real story, and there's also other successful Job Hunter Boot Camp participants who have gotten jobs. Astrid Barrientos, where is Astrid? Astrid's right over here. She is another successful participant in Job Hunters Boot Camp. Yes, you can applaud her. She is now working at Franklin Templeton as a legal specialist. and part of the paralegals program at Franklin Templeton. So again, another great success story. Now let's hear briefly from the other presenters that you're going to be able to choose among for the various workshops. First, why don't you all come to the stage area so that we can move along very quickly. Let me start by inviting Camille Grabowski, who is going to discuss 10 strategies for overcoming age bias in your job search. Camille, tell us how to do it.
Well, thank you very much for having me here, and I'm really excited about this very enthusiastic crowd. So if you have any concerns that either your age or the number of years of your work experience may be creating obstacles for you in your job search, meet me at noon in room 1B. We're going to talk about everything from creating an age-neutral resume all the way through answering some of those tough questions that you get in the interview process. So join me at noon at room 1B. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Thanks, Jackie.
Camille has been a veteran participant in the Job Hunters Boot Camp, and I thank you again for your service. We have two other presenters who aren't here yet. Jenny Kahn, who will help you with your job search. Her specialty is effective use of LinkedIn. She will also be moderating the Biotech Healthcare Employer Panel. Rebecca Kieler is a resume writing expert who will not only be speaking today, but also moderating the Retail Hospitality Panel. And next, I invite another veteran participant in the Job Hunters Boot Camp. She's been just terrific. Joan Tabb is a career job coach, and she has something to say to you that could change your life path. Joan, please come forward.
This is my 6th time being here, and I've learned a few things in these last few years. First of all, I'm wearing red pants. And I'm wearing red pants to remind all of you and remind myself not to be shy. This is not a place to be shy. I've had people contact me afterwards who said, I can't believe it. It turned out I was sitting next to somebody who knew a contact in just the company I wanted to join. Or I was meeting up with somebody over lunch and I happened to make a conversation with them and I ended up networking with their brother who helped me get a job. So please, look at these red pants and remember, don't be shy. This is not the day to be shy. Think about how you're going to introduce yourself, a couple of words you might want to say, and then let them know what you're looking for. Now, today's talk. Today's talk is called Career Blind Spots, and in it we'll be doing some inside work. I've been working as a career and executive coach for over a decade now. Everyone who comes to see me is looking for career advancement. And to a person, even a CEO, has areas they're not aware of that are holding them back. So in today's interactive presentation, you're going to learn about 10 very common blind spots. And you'll work interactively. My talks are always highly interactive. And you'll be able to recognize things that might be holding you back and learn some new behaviors and strategies to break through those. Now, when you do break through those, I'm looking for the two people who are most excited and they have great insights and they each will get a copy of my book. So please, come to the talk on career blind spots. You will leave with guaranteed at least 2 or 3 new insights, and it's right behind here at 11 o'clock. See you then.
And then I can't forget my district director, Richard Steffen. Richard is going to be doing a special program for job-seeking veterans and give them some advice on how to be successful. Richard?
Thank you, Jackie. I'm a veteran, and there aren't many of us. Less than 1% of our population is in the military currently, and overall only 7%. So we're special, and that's what you have to leave today with that feeling that we are special. And in your search for a job, you're going to meet people who aren't veterans, and you're going to have to convince them that you are the right person for the job. And that's what we're going to discuss at noon in room 2B. Okay, be there.
Okay, now we're going to go on and you're going to hear from the keynote speaker this morning. Sumaya Kazi is also going to be providing a workshop for young job seekers here. More than that, she is an inspiration for job seekers of all ages. She is an internationally recognized innovator, leader, speaker, and an award-winning entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Sumazi.com, a platform that discovers, recommends, and introduces you to the people you don't know, but should. She previously served as Senior Society Media Manager at Sun Microsystems, and she's been recognized by Business Week as one of America's best young entrepreneurs. Reuters ranked her number 8 in the top 50 most influential executives on the web, and CNN named her a young person who rocks. So let's have Sumaya come up and rock you right now.
All right, how's everyone doing? Oh, come on. How are you all doing? All right, good morning. So thank you so much, Congresswoman, for that wonderful introduction, and I'm so excited to be here for a few reasons. I have spent about a decade of my life, and if you hear about those awards, I'm not too old, but I've spent my career with the goal of connecting you to the people you don't know but should. And one of the biggest connections that we're all looking for is that right job. And I'm giving a talk later today, right after this talk actually, more designed for young people looking for jobs, but also specifically around entrepreneurship. But that is because that is also a career path towards creating your own jobs. And so I look forward to seeing you at that talk. What I want to talk about right now is, what is our goal today? What is the purpose today? Everybody here is here because they're looking for a job. But I'm actually challenging you to think of it differently. Instead of thinking about looking for a job, I challenge you to look for people. Often people, they overlook the fact that right now when you're looking for jobs, it's about numbers, it's about applications, it's about resumes, it's about going through that entire process. What I've seen is that the people that actually focus on relationships and introductions and finding the right people are the ones that end up finding the right path and the right position. So I'm going to start with a quote that I enjoy, which is by Seneca. And he says that luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. And that's really what it comes down to. A lot of people say, oh, I got lucky with this job. But really what it comes down to is being able to know the right opportunities, to meet the right people, and to do it at the right time. So there's 4 Ps that I think about when I meet with, I help other people, or even when I've been job seeking. The first one is passion. So I know that when you're looking for jobs, it comes down to sometimes just the financial part of it, and you just really need to start work right away. But in this time, I really challenge you to also think about what you're most passionate about. Because what happens is when you start thinking, I need a job right away and I have to do it really fast, you lose sight of what is it that you really want to do? What is it that really can get you excited when you wake up in the morning? What's the type of opportunity that's going to challenge you? And what that's going to actually help you do is it's going to help you narrow down your focus of the type of opportunity you want. Instead of going to Craigslist or instead of going to a job board and trying to apply to as many positions as possible, the more focus you have, the more likely you're going to find an opportunity that not only excites you, but it allows you to focus in the types of people that you want to actually connect with and get introduced to. Another aspect of it is personalization. Again, we get really used to applying to as many places as possible. But if you focus on that component of personalization, so imagine you're applying to a position and there might be 1,000 other people that are applying to the same position. What's going to make an employer think about you and think about how you stand out from the crowd? I've seen some really untraditional ways that people have applied, but the more you can personalize it, the better. Now, if you focus on a fewer positions as opposed to hundreds, then you can spend that time to personalize. The other component that I think is really, really important is perseverance. So with this it's about, as a couple of the other speakers have mentioned, it's about going through the process, and you're going to learn a lot just about yourself by doing the application process. But perseverance is incredibly key, because you can't, when you think about the unemployment rate, 7.8%, I believe is what you said, that can seem still a little daunting. But what you have to focus on is that you're looking for one job. That's what you need to focus on, is one job. You need that one break, and that's what you need to focus on. But most importantly, beyond even the 3 Ps that I just mentioned, is people. So something that I want you to do in just this very moment right now is, I've introduced myself. I want you to take just 10 seconds to introduce yourself to the person. Say hello, introduce your name, and mention what type of opportunity you're looking for. So 10, 15 seconds, please do that. Look to the person to the right or left of you. Introduce yourselves. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, what is this going to do? When you shake somebody's hand and when you introduce yourself to someone, you're not asking them for a job. What you're doing is you're saying, I'm introducing myself, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for. You will never know who that right person is that's going to make that introduction. And so the more people you introduce yourself today, not just even the employers, I'm talking about the people that are here today, the more people you introduce yourselves to, the more of an opportunity as well as a likelihood you'll have to meeting that right type of person. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that about 70% of the connections for a job actually happens through a connection, through a referral, through someone. 10%, less than 10%, actually happens through a job board. So just think about those numbers. 70% happen through people. So what are things that you can do? You can meet more people here today, and this is a fantastic event, because what it's doing is it's bringing a crowd of people that are like-minded. It's bringing some amazing employers so that you can have those conversations. A couple other things that I would recommend is think about your own network. Look at your entire email address book. And it takes a few minutes to draft a quick email that you can then send to your network, your own personal network, whether you work with them, whether they're personal contacts or professional contacts, to let them know that, hey, this is a type of opportunity I'm looking for. If you know anyone that I should meet with, it's not I'm looking for a job. If you know anyone that I should meet with, have a conversation with, have coffee with, I'd be very appreciative for that introduction. Just that simple email will do wonders, because now what's happening is your network is now seeded with the idea that you're looking for a certain type of opportunity, and when that person comes to their mind, they will then make that introduction. When you identify opportunities or jobs, or that dream job, or that job that you can be really passionate about, instead of first applying through the job board, what I would ask you to do is actually go through your LinkedIn, go through your Facebook, go through your email, and find out who you think or who you know that might work there. I'm not saying look for the hiring manager. I'm not saying look for the executive there. Anybody that works at that company is somebody that's likely to help you navigate the process within the company. So that's a really large part of what I've seen. And I've interviewed thousands of people that I've seen kind of map their career. I've talked to thousands of entrepreneurs. I hire as well, and so I'm sharing, the tidbits of expertise that I've seen that has worked. So with that, the 4 Ps: passion. Really try to find your key opportunity or position that you're most excited about. Perseverance. Every day is a new day. The more conversations you can have and the more engagement you can have, the more opportunities you're going to find. It's also about perseverance and people. So people, again, today, as many times as you can, introduce yourself, connect with people, and also enjoy the company that you have. I look forward to meeting all of you. I'm excited to meet each and every one of you. Please come by and pick up a card, and if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best of luck and success in your job search. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's give her a round of applause. That was a little weak. All right, thank you, Sumaya. Okay, now, to just make you recognize the opportunities you have here today. Kaiser is here. They're looking for 3,000 new employees in the Northern California region. Home Depot is looking for 56 employees in this region. Gree, a mobile social gaming company, is looking for 100 employees in this region. And Virgin America is looking for 100 employees in this region. Homeland Security is looking particularly for employees who are veterans. Now, with that bit of information, I trust that you are going to make beelines to many of those employers, but again, I want you to make a beeline to every employer because you just don't know, like Lindsay didn't know, where that job opportunity was actually going to come from. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that my table is over there with the red sign and with the waving staff members. Volunteering is sometimes the best way and the fastest way to get a job. So, in your job search, while I know you've got to send out the resumes and you've got to try as you may to get those interviews, volunteering in an area that you have a passion for is one of the quickest ways to get there. We have the volunteer corps in my office. We do activities around the communities. If you're interested, please sign up so you can become a SPEAR volunteer. Now, this would not happen without extraordinary staff work from my employees. And I want to say a special thank you to Alana Paul, who is responsible for organizing this today. As well as Katrina Rill, who is standing over here. And then the other members of my staff, starting with my chief of staff, Kokab Hashimi, over there, Mark Nagales, Richard Steffen, Rebecca Wolfson, Brian Perkins, Margaret Hernandez, all of them. Please give them a big round of applause. All right, now I want you to stand up. I want you to raise your hand. I'm not going to ask you to solemnly swear. And I want you to pat yourselves on the back because you're here and you're going to make it. And I want you to know that nobody doesn't have self-doubts. Everybody has self-doubts. I have self-doubts. I have self-doubts about running for re-election. Well, maybe not. But no matter who you are, whether you're the President of the United States or a young kid playing, in a sandbox, we all have self-doubts. But that should not prevent you from moving forward. That should not be an obstacle in your job search. We all have self-doubts. We've got to overcome them, and we've got to go get them. So I want you now to go get those employers, and thank you very much for being here.